Who's the 4 in this situation, this drill? Don't care who. Let's go. Someone, pass the ball. Good. Our lane runners run wide. Who's a lane runner? So get out to the sideline, get out to the sideline. Lucas, you're a lane runner. Who's the 5? That's all right. Now, depending on your group, you may have the 5 setting a screen here. You may not have the 5 setting a screen here. When I was down in Tasmania, everybody wanted to trap Tasmania at Nationals because they just didn't have the depth and the numbers. So we had our 5. Every single time they would be here setting a screen. Now, even if there wasn't defense, there would be here setting a screen because it's building habits. So the time that they do run and there is defense, but then they've got to come back. So it's always, every single time, no matter what, even if the other team went back to a zone and it was a dead ball situation, we had them here setting a screen, building habits. So we always started the point guard the same side as the ball handler, the passer. The reason being, if they can just throw the ball straight in, we throw the ball straight in, and then we go. If they can't throw the ball straight in because their defender's guarding them like this, well, that's when we use the screen. So we sweep our player off the screen, so shoulder to shoulder, not leaving a gap. Now, if the ball goes in, what can you do? You can run the baseline. So you just stay in line with the guard. So you run with them and you can throw it in. Now, once you screen, you go rim to rim. So I'm just showing you an offensive transition we used in Tasmania. So you can run down rim to rim. You're running your lanes wide. You're the point guard here, and you're the trail. Now, our point guard, hold there. We always have them either kick the ball ahead. If they can't, they might look to, so if they can't kick the ball ahead this side, they might cross over here, cross the split line, and you would just circling behind me, and I look to kick ahead this side. So there's always looking for a kick ahead pass first and foremost. You never dribble the ball, or we never want to dribble the ball towards where?
Sideline.
Sideline, good. So we always want to stay as close to the centre circle as possible when I bring the ball up the court. Away from the where? Trapping areas, yeah, because that's a sideline trapping areas. So I stay close to the centre circle. We call this the alleyway. So new elbow, old elbow, going all the way down to the other end. We call that the alleyway. You want to stay in this alleyway and you stay in this alleyway. And you always trail the ball just slightly. That's why you call it the trail post or trail big or trail player, whatever you want to be called. Okay? So now when the point guard brings it up, if they got no one to pass to, they might turn and throw it back to you.
Then we'll trail.
Yeah, and you can trail a little bit as well. Does that make sense? We stay away from where? Good. Trapping areas. Good. Okay, come down. Now, teams are going away from that, setting screens here, because it's like, well, if you want to be a point guard, get open. Okay, if you can't get open, well, then you're not a point guard. So sometimes they just send this player out straight away. You guys run rim to rim. Now you just get a catch. Same rules apply though. When they get a catch, we trail. We've got our wide lane runners getting to the corners and they can bounce up. We've got our big runner rim to rim, and this is our shape going down the floor. Any questions so far? All right. Now let's rewind, or you guys go down there. You three come down this end. Let's just flip it here so I can show you what our next phase is. Pardon? Yep. Now hold there. So we always want to try to kick ahead. So if you get to the corners, if the ball's your side, you want to try to lead up. Now, depending on where your player is, if there's plenty of space here and they're not in the lane, you can just sprint straight up. We always got taught when we were younger to V-cut and make a lead and make contact. That is still important, but there's you want to be quicker as an offensive player, right? So if you're standing there defensively and I can just sprint up and get a catch, well, that's good. That's better, that's quicker, as opposed to leading in. Now let's say you're in the lane a little bit and you're towards me perhaps. Now it's really tough for me just to lead straight up. So now I'd have to actually lead in, make contact, and then get open. Right? And that's that relationship that we need to have. You make the lead at the correct time, and you pass the ball at the correct time. Okay? Ball's there. But I'm just going to show you what we do after the kick ahead, and then I'll break down some things leading into the kick ahead. So now you're running rim to rim, and we always have this player go opposite the ball. The reason why we have that, and we call this the dead low. So your heels are on the baseline. Okay? Heels, heels, heels. And get outside the key. There you go. We open this area up for you to play one-on-one and try to create a split. Okay? So you beat your player one-on-one. That's what we call creating a split. Beat them one-on-one. Now when you drive, we're in what we call receiver spots, which most of you have heard these before. We call them the 5 Ds. Okay? Have you seen Dodgeball? No? Funny movie. Okay? So you're going to drive. You're the driver. So that's 1D. You're the drift. So you're dead corner looking for a 3-point shot. That's another D. You're the diag, so you get to the wing. That's another D. You're the dunker, so you always go opposite to the ball handler. If he goes low, you go high around to the top of the chart circle here, okay? If he goes high, go back to the wing. If he goes high through the elbow, you go low. Yep. And the last D is the drag. So you drag him behind. Why do we get to receiver spots? One, we're all on the same page. And eventually you can get to a point, just drag him behind to the wing. If you watch the Olympics, forget who it was, I think it was Ricky Rubio. He made one unbelievable behind the back pass, right? And there was a play when he played EuroLeague, he drove like this and he just threw this type of pass in the game. Right to where the drag position was, because he just knew he was there. So just having everyone on the same page. You always, you get to those spots because of the way the defense will rotate as well. All right? If you're driving middle and I'm defending you, I think you're there, right? You stay there, you wheel underneath now, or I stay here, you wheel underneath, and you pretend like you've gone high. Now that's where you get that little pass. Right, rewind, all the way back to the start. You're the screener. Lane runner, pass out of bounds. So that's how we get the ball up the court without much pressure, okay? Let's say we make a lead or cut through, doesn't really matter which one. You screen, you go, get to just the halfway for me there. Now let's say there's a really good ball defender putting a lot of pressure on this player and you're finding it really hard to get the ball up the court. So next huddle, where there's a break of play, you might go up to your foreman and go, hey, can you wipe this player out? I want you to smack him on a screen, right? So we call this a smash screen, right? So you're going to get ahead of the ball and you want to get to a point where the defender can't really see you. And you want to come into this middle corridor here, so roughly the split line, and you just plant your feet here. So you get ahead of it. I'm defending you, you set me up. So you might go a couple bounces that way, and then you cross over and I'm defending, I'm up and in, up and in, up and in, up and in, and bang, I get hit. So you smash me, right? Now we don't mind this being an illegal screen, okay? Make sure it's within the rules, but we don't mind it hurting this player that's defending the ball, because what do you think I'm going to do next time I'm defending the ball handler? I'm looking around, I'm worried, I'm like, oh, I'm going to get screened, so I'm not going to put as much pressure. Does that make sense? So that's one screen we set called a smash screen. Another screen we can set is called a punch screen, okay? They're really violent names, aren't they? So let's say we don't get a screen from the 4, we're going to get a screen from the 5 this time. So they come up to halfway. You stay low, that's fine, you stay low. Get to the seam for me, the edge of the key, where's the edge of the key? Good, and plant right there. So you're facing each other. So his job here is just to run him right off a punch screen. So again, this player's defending him here, they turn, and then all of a sudden I just get hit by this player. So there's 2 types of screens we can use in the backcourt, all right, to free you up. Right with that?